Mr. DJ Rose, Verteezy, and C's. Welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. I'm sure MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap a seatbelt, go and settle land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell out now. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love us as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.
No More Black Tears, we back in the building. Me and Verteezy. It all happened in the week. Make sure y'all, and also this week, make sure y'all go like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let's get it. Let's get them numbers up. Run the channel up. It all happened in the week.
So this week in sports, man, we're gonna start with the NBA. We had three superstars get traded in the course of a couple of days apart from each other. First, we're gonna start with John Morant. He went from Memphis to Portland for Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. Then we had Kawhi, who went back to the city of Toronto, so he's back with Drake for Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, 2 first-round picks, a first-round swap, so basically 3 first-round picks overall, and 2 second-round picks. But the trade that made the biggest headlines this week, Rose, Jaylen motherfucking Brown, Finals MVP, Eastern Conference Finals MVP too, and led the Celtics to the number 2 seed last year without Jason Tatum, traded to the 76ers for Paul George, 2 first-round picks, and 2 second-round picks. What do you think about each of these trades, and what is the trade that you are looking forward to seeing that team do very well for?
Toronto, I think that trade's going to help them out a lot, especially if Kawhi is going to play like he did last year and put up numbers he put up last year. If he does that with Toronto, that's going to be great for them. That's going to put them in the top 5 on the East. But John Morant to Portland, I know they're not finished doing some moves because they got a lot of point guards and a lot of guards over there. So I'm interested in seeing, but I don't want to see them move Dame. I want to see John Morant and Dame play together because I think Dame can teach him a lot of things and teach him how to be a productive NBA player and teach some things as just being off the court things too, as a role model, as a good overall good person. You know what I'm saying? You never hear Dame's name in anything really, and he probably could teach him how to be a better rapper too if John Morant wants to still be a hip hop artist. But Jaylen Brown, like trade him to the Sixers after they knocked y'all out. That was crazy. I think it makes the Sixers a lot better. Because Paul George, he's a shell of himself what he used to be 10 years ago. So it's like, but I'm trying to figure out what Boston is doing. Like, okay, we know that Jason Tatum is the face of the franchise. We know that they was both probably about to make $600 million together. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. It was crazy, but good for him though. But another thing they were saying that he always thinks he's the smartest person in the room, and I'm like, and I was like, oh, he might be the smartest person in some of the rooms he be in.
Yeah, man, probably is.
So it's like, well, and I'm thinking what else is like, what was wrong with that? Like, they never said he was a locker room cancer. They never said he was a bad teammate. So y'all white folks got mad because he's smarter than y'all? So it's like, yeah, we get him up out of here just like we did in Madoka. Get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's going to hurt Boston, though, in the long run. I don't think they're going to be in the next – I don't think Jason Tatum can take them to the places they want to be by himself. I don't think so.
Yeah, man, I'm going to start with the John Morant trade. I feel the opposite. I feel like this is a sign of you got to trade Dame. that you brought Dame back last year so he could just rehab and be back home, in the city that he was raised in his NBA career. But because you can't trade Scoot, like he's young, that's one of you hoping he's for the future with John Morant. I don't know if you want to trade Drew, because I feel like Drew could do the same role as Dame, be the mentor and everything. Plus, Drew is not really the scorer Dame is. So really a backcourt of Drew and Jar is not really an issue because he could basically take that Desmond Bain role where he plays defense or whatever. So I'm interested to see, like, does Dame get moved? Because now, when you talking last week about how you was excited for that Giannis trade to Miami, if Miami gets Dame and Dame can just be a good player, now that trade looks better. Like, it's a lot of places Dame can go where it might be interesting. But a John Morant trade, as far as Blazers,
that's if he wants to go.
If he wants to go. But as far as Drew Holiday too. Drew Holiday can still play. So if he goes somewhere,
now,
because he can go to Miami.
If he go to Miami, that'd be good.
And I think that'd be good because they'd be defensively amazing.
They already played together.
Yeah, so like that'd be good
together.
So that's the interesting part to see the trade after this trade, if there is one. But just John to Portland, who the fuck cares? Mm-hmm. Like, John, okay, cool, man. You just gonna be in Portland. But can I tell you what I heard about this trade? I heard the Nike execs are the reason why this trade happened. That apparently John Morant is one of their biggest shoe sellers, even with all this bullshit going on. Mm-hmm. And that they do not want John to fail. And they basically orchestrated with the league, like send him to our headquarters in. And so we can have people keep an eye on him. And I will say this, even when Jar had all that stuff going on last year, his shoes were selling like hotcakes. So this one of those conspiracies that I might just believe that shit, bro, because I don't know what it is. He NBA young boy of the NBA. Mm-hmm. Them young niggas, they love John Morant.
Yeah.
Now, talking about the old niggas though, man, an old nigga always gonna say he believe in Kawhi. I don't know why. I don't know why after everything Kawhi did. But it's so crazy that after Drake just dropped, his album and said, I don't know, because why I thought you could bring us a championship. And then y'all get Kawhi back. Man, I wasn't as big in this trade as my brother CJ2K was. He broke down the Raptors roster and how good it is. Mm-hmm. And he feel like they can compete in the East. And after hearing him talk about it and hearing how you are high on the trade too, the East is so weak that Kawhi probably can take this roster if he puts up the numbers he put up last year. And if certain players like I'm losing his name, the young boy got drafted. Scotty Barnes got drafted with Cade. If Scotty can take that next step, which he almost was an all-star last year, people forget that. He almost was an all-star last year. If he could take that next step and actually become an all-star this year, and then if RJ Barrett can still play pretty well, be a decent player, so it'll be interesting to see what the Raptors do. But come on, let's get to the meat and potatoes. No, I did not expect Jaylen Brown to get traded. Once the Giannis shit fell through, I did not expect him to get traded. When I saw he got traded to the Sixers, my first thought was for who? When I saw it was motherfucking Paul George, and I talked to your brother MGH, and he was like, I thought it was a straight trade. And I said, yo, bro, let's break this shit down. I said, this is the NBA. And I always have to explain this to him. So I'm explaining to the listeners too. This ain't the NFL. This is the NBA. Second round picks don't mean shit. They don't mean shit. There's probably 5 players in this league right now that you actually know their name and was drafted in the second round. Draymond, Jalen Brunson, and Jokic. I don't think you can name another second round player that you actually know that is actually good in this league.
LeBron James Jr. LeBron James Jr.
Oh, I apologize. Bronny James. So, second round picks don't mean shit in NBA. Now let's get to the first round picks. I hate to break your hearts. If you're not in the lottery, them first round picks don't mean shit in NBA either. This is not the NFL where a first round pick means something. If you're not in the lottery, Rose, that first round pick don't mean shit most of the time. So, do you know what this trade really was? It was Paul George for Jaylen Brown straight up. Paul George, who averaged 17 points last year, only played 30-something games, got to the second round and played like shit against the Knicks. Been doing more podcasting than playing basketball, playoff P, and you traded that nigga that nigga for Jaylen Brown, who just led the Celtics to the number 2 seed in the East, and who is way more decorated than Paul George. And then on top of that, there was NBA insiders like Nick Wright who said, "Do you know what it was going to take to trade for Paul George, Rose?" Around the league, sources were saying for the Sixers to get off of Paul George because his contract is so fucked up, the Sixers was going to have to give a team a first-round pick. So when you look at it like that, you really only got one first-round pick because the league think he's so bad because of that contract and how he plays. You basically saying, hey, man, I'll take him from you, but you're going to have to give me something. Man, bro, this trade was great for the Sixers. I don't think they're going to compete for a championship next year, man, because I think they got to do more to that roster. But as far as the young core they got with Jaylen Brown, BJ Edgecombe, and Tyrese Maxey, and I keep hearing people say, well, you know, man, it's going to be Tyrese's team. If you think it's going to be Tyrese's team, man, you've been mistaken, bro. Jaylen Brown is the best player on that team. When they start playing games in October, November, when they start betting the season back in October, November, y'all gonna realize in the first 10 games, Jaylen Brown is the best player on that motherfucking team. Because goddamn Jaylen Brown took the Celtics to number 2 seed, and a lot of them players on that team ain't all that. And Tyrese Maxey barely got his team into the play-in. So y'all don't get confused by whatever numbers Maxey put up, but he's still a great young player. Man, the only issue is the reason why I can't get excited for this trade like I want to. Because I said this last week. When have we seen superstars get traded recently, Rose? And after the trade, we didn't even talk about championship aspirations. I can't get excited for it because Embiid stays injured so much. That's what's holding them back. Now, if they was able to trade Embiid for, let's say, AD, if you gave me somebody I knew would actually play and would play great, I would pick the Sixers to probably come out the East, man. But, yeah, man, that's the only unfortunate part. To everything you said about Jaylen Brown, this was a horrible mistake by the Celtics. They picked the wrong nigga. If he was going to trade somebody, you should have traded Tatum. Now, from what they say, apparently they don't like some of the comments that Jaylen Brown makes when he's twitching about the team. They feel like he throws shots at Jason Tatum. If Jason Tatum is that sensitive, because I feel like what fucked me up with this trade is this. I've never seen a superstar allow some shit like this. Can you think of a time where a superstar just allowed the team to trade the second best player and not get nothing back?
Because he was okay with it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
he ain't say nothing.
This says a lot about him because even LeBron, even when Kyrie said, people forget. They done patch shit up, LeBron and Kyrie, but people forget. Kyrie said shit about LeBron wanting to get traded, and LeBron still didn't want the Cavs to trade Kyrie, and they still played the season together, and it was to the following year where he got traded. Because LeBron understood, nigga, you not going to get nothing back for Kyrie. Like, yo, this is crazy, bro. Jason Tatum, man, like, all eyes on you, bro, because we saw what Jaylen Brown did with his team. And so that means you got to be... I ain't gonna put the number 2 seed on you, but you gotta advance in the playoffs to the second and third round. Like, you gotta do something, bro. You gotta do something, and we gotta look at it and be like, because of you, it's because of you the Celtics is winning all these games, man. So that was very disappointing, man. You know, but outside of these trades, there has been a lot of player movement, Rose. Like, we got NBA free agency. There's been now that includes the restricted free agents, the players who've signed their contracts and everything. What players they have signed or that are available, you know, that you're basically happy to see where they went.
Walker Kessler going to the Lakers, man. They gonna be number 1 seed. There's no way the league is gonna let them white boys get beat. It's gonna be like this 80s Celtics. I think that's what I said.
Yeah,
that's what the Lakers gonna be next year. They gonna be unstoppable. Unstoppable.
Yeah, they got the Snow Lakers, man.
It's snow time. Snow time. The Snow Time Lakers. Oh man. But one sneaky move that I really liked was John Collins going to the Pistons. I think that's an upgrade from Duren. But hopefully, I don't think they can sign Durant back. I think they still got some, but I don't think he's going back to the Pistons. And I think because Durant wasn't a big scorer, but and Jonathan Collins, he's probably not the scorer he was when he was in Atlanta, but he can score the rock, and he can play defense. So I think that's a big move for them. Jimmy Butler going to the Spurs. I think that was a good move for the Spurs. You know what I'm saying? He puts up average numbers. You know what I'm saying? So he can score the ball.
Shout out to Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris over me. Yes, sir. But yeah, I think that was a good move for them, man. The Spurs is getting deeper and deeper. And I'll talk about this later on my other one, but it was a couple other moves, but those are the ones that I liked. I was surprised that Buddy went to the Celtics from the Knicks. I was surprised by that. Mitchell Robinson.
And that was a big need for the Celtics. Yeah. They needed a big man.
Mm-hmm. I was surprised by that. But that's pretty much it, man. It ain't really too much really with the free agents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. This wasn't a strong free agency class, to be honest. Most of the big free agents have already signed, like Trae Young, Austin Reeves. They just re-signed with their teams, so it wasn't really big. Now I will say this: Jaylen Duren is one of the biggest names out there, so it'll be interesting to see where he go. He made an All-NBA. He made an All-Star team. He averaged 19 and 10 last year. Those are good numbers for a power forward / center. Like we'll see what happens with him, but he can't play like he did in the playoffs wherever he goes. It's said the Lakers are really trying to target him because they want someone to play with to play with Luka. They can roll to the rim. And it's interesting because Ayton went to the Wizards, so that was kind of interesting to see. Norman Powell to the Bulls, and the only significant of that was, man, bro, Miami backcourt just looked so bad that I was anticipating on them bringing him back.
They couldn't afford him.
See, and that's the thing. Like, they backcourt is just so, like, they made that trade, and like, it's just who gonna bring the ball up for y'all boys? Who gonna run the point? Who gonna score from perimeter? Like that's
Bam. You talking about? Man, nobody. When you say, man, he scored. Remember, you said Melo scored 50 in his league. No, yeah. Bam scored 80 in his league. You gotta put some respect on that man. Man, he can do everything. He can do everything. He is the team. He's Superman. Giannis is Batman.
So that'll be interesting, man. And then the last move, which is going to lead into the next move, Draymond opting out, man. And then the news behind that was kind of interesting, man. So speaking of Draymond opting out, they said he opted out to give the Warriors a chance to sign what many consider the GOAT, LeBron James, who officially told the Lakers, I'm not returning. And now we got the T-Wolves buying, the Warriors buying, the Sixers buying, the Heat buying. They said the Nuggets are thinking about going. The Spurs are trying to get in there. The Cavs want to get in there. Rich Paul and Max Kellerman was on their podcast. Rich Paul had a whole whiteboard of all the possible teams he could go to, and it was basically 3 names or basically 3 words by each one. One of them had golfing. So that's what we're doing, LeBron. We're making these creative decisions based off of golf, and another team had oil. Like, hey, man, before this season started, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even think we would care where LeBron went. I didn't even think because like, I just thought that we all was on the same page. Okay, LeBron is still, LeBron, but he really ain't gonna move the needle. But after what he did that series, what he did to KD and the boys in the first round, LeBron showed he can still be, if not a number 1, a very strong number 2 on the team. Man, if I had to tell you my top 3 teams I would like to see him land on, the Warriors would be number 1, just because it'll be dope to see him and Steph play together, bring Draymond back. I don't think they could win a championship just with that team. They'd have to make another move. They said AD is off the table. There was speculation about possibly trading Jimmy Butler for Joel Embiid because their contracts match up. That would be interesting because a team like that, you really wouldn't need Joel Embiid to the the postseason. But I think the more interesting name I possibly heard, and this nigga probably wouldn't go for it, but I ain't gonna lie, Man, bring Team USA back. If they could trade Jimmy Butler for like KD and get KD on that team, man, that I give the old heads one last run. We got a whole bunch of young niggas, young teams in the West. Let the old niggas have a chance to see can they bring a championship.
They did that already. The Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah. The Cavs, I think it's obviously interesting because there's always going to be interesting to see LeBron go back home and play for his hometown team and give them a chance. The Cavs got a good squad. You know, if he won a championship in Cleveland his last 2 years, that team has struggled in the playoffs the last few years where we would look at, even if LeBron wasn't Finals MVP, LeBron would get the full credit for winning that championship. And then probably the last team, and it's only because I just think LeBron going there would be so interesting from a basketball perspective if somehow the Nuggets was able to figure out how to get LeBron. Because Jokic and LeBron are very good passers, and it would be interesting to see them play together. Like, that might just be some beautiful basketball to watch, and they would create a lot of easy shots. So those would be the three places there. If LeBron went to, I'll be most, and I'm not saying he would win the championship in those three places, but those are the places that I would be most interested in seeing, though.
Yeah, I think for probably the best chance of him to win the championship is Denver. I think that would be a great fit for them and a need for them, a fit for them, and a great fit for LeBron. So he could be, because if he goes there, he'll be the 2A, 2B with Murray. You know what I'm saying? And then they still got Aaron Gordon to play the 4. You put LeBron at the 3, and then I don't know who they could put at shooting guard, but they got players at shooting guard.
Some white boy off the bench, I think. Some white boy.
Braun.
I think he might have started for them last year.
Okay, and he could shoot, so it's like I think that'd be perfect. I wouldn't mind him seeing him go back to Miami. You say who they gonna bring the ball up? LeBron can bring the ball up. He ain't gonna bring it all the time, but
I mean, he could be the point guard of that team, bro.
He could be the point guard.
Because that's what he basically did in the playoffs for the Lakers.
So I wouldn't mind seeing him go to Miami. And then,
do you know the only issue with that team?
They ain't got no shooters.
Exactly. Where the floor space in that?
Yeah, they ain't got no shooters. So
I guess Bam can shoot.
Oh yeah, yeah. He go put it on your head. You go put it on your head. It's hard to score 80 in this league. But and then my next one, I definitely don't want to see him go to the Warriors. I don't want to see him go to the Warriors, but it would be fun to see him and Steph playing together. Yeah, it would, but I don't want to see him go to the Warriors. So I would say Denver, Miami. I wouldn't be mad at Cleveland either. He'll fit in Cleveland. Is that I think that chapter is done. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't want to see that again. You know what I'm saying? You did it once, you did it twice, you'll do it 3 times and then go out like, okay. But the other team, the Spurs. So remember we talked about passing the ball, him passing the ball to Vic?
Yeah.
Hey.
I had that right at number 4. I had the Spurs at number 4. The only reason why they have the Spurs in my top 3, and I'm gonna get to this, is if they won the championship. We got to do that barbershop talk, y'all. He wouldn't get credit for that ring.
Man,
he wouldn't get credit for that ring.
He'll be the top of all the lists. Only person to do this. The only person to do this. The only person that win 4 championships with 4 different teams. The only person that the most points, the most rebounds, the most assists.
I feel you. The Spurs could use him, but people just would look at it like, "Yo, bro, come on, man."
But that's what he's doing, though.
And that's what the question I want to lead to before we wrap up with LeBron. The first question is, LeBron's probably. Me and CJ2K talk. I think this next year is not his last year. I think he's gonna give us 2 seasons, and that's it. He's gonna end at 25. Do you feel like wherever he goes, he has to compete for a championship, or it's gonna make him look bad?
I don't think it's gonna make him look bad because there's nothing else he can do to make him look bad unless he plays like Paul Pierce did his last season.
So if he ends his career averaging 20-something points, but like Michael Jordan on the Wizards, that's gonna be okay.
Yeah,
because missing the playoffs is.
That's what I'm saying. Like The team that he go to ain't missing the playoffs.
Okay.
Unless
Get knocked out first round, second round, is that cool?
Hey, it's possible, but I don't think they're gonna miss the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm not saying, but let's say they get knocked out first or second round, is that cool? They gotta actually be a legit contender.
Depending on the team he go to. Like if he goes to say Philly and they get knocked out in the first round, yeah, that's a disappointment.
Yeah.
Like he goes to Denver, they get knocked out in the first round, that's a disappointment.
What about Miami?
If he goes to Miami, they get knocked out in the first round. I think that's a disappointment, yeah, in the first round. The second round, I'm okay with that. But the first round, that's a disappointment. But like if he goes to a team like the Warriors and they lose in the first round, I don't think that's a disappointment if their squad is the same as it is right now. Because Steph, I don't know.
I ain't gonna lie, I think people would pick that team to win the championship just because of Steph and LeBron. I feel like first round loss would be a disappointment.
It probably would, but if it's just Steph and LeBron and Draymond as their three best players.
I mean, I agree with you. Like they're all old and they're not what they used to be, but I feel like most people would look at it like, hey, yo, because that's at the end of the day, we for some reason we don't judge LeBron by the standard of he's 40 years old playing. We still judge him like he's still LeBron.
But he's 42.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
well, 41.
So he still get judged as if LeBron. Maybe that's unfair.
Yeah, that's unfair.
And if he went to the Warriors, I feel like that's what would happen. It would be like, yo, you'd have all these people coming out thinking they gonna win the championship.
No.
Just like when the Brooklyn Nets put that old ass team together, everyone thought, oh, we're gonna bring a championship to the city of New York.
Hey, and people thought that too. But man, they was
So before we close out, man, respect to King James. How do you think his run with the Lakers should be? I think he spent eight years there.
Yeah.
8 years. He won the finals. It was a bubble championship. 2 West Conference finals. You know, they made the playoffs, I think, every year except for one. You know, and that was his first year there when he had the young boys with him. He brought 80 to the team. How will you remember him as a Laker? And was his Laker stay a success?
They won a champion. He won a championship there, so it's obviously a success. I don't like the way he went out. I don't like that. As a Lakers fan, I don't like it. It almost when I heard the news that he said that he wasn't coming back, I'm like, nigga, I bought your jersey. Man, I was kind of upset about it.
You sound like every Cleveland fan, every Miami fan. I bought your jersey.
I was kind of upset about it. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I was kind of upset. But I was like, but
you know why? Because the Lakers is one of those teams most players don't voluntarily leave from.
Yeah, it's like, and I don't
unless you gay like the white.
And I don't have a problem with what he's doing. But I ain't like that. I ain't like it because I felt like if you was gonna leave, you should have told him after the season was over, so they could have already had their ducks in a row. Because everybody thought he was coming back, except for Rich Paul. Rich Paul knew, but everybody else thought he was coming back to the Lakers.
I thought he was coming back, but after that playoff series against the Rockets, I felt like he wasn't coming back.
Yeah,
I felt like he played just good enough where it's like, man, some teams might want him now. I'll say this, I don't think it was a success because I just feel like when I think of me being a Lakers fan, I think of championships, not a championship. Championships. So you won one championship, a bubble championship, and that shit even when we talk about it, that shit don't feel the same as these other championships.
It was the same.
They
got a ring.
They got a ring, bro, but it just, that was different type of basketball, bro. That shit, I know some people like to say that's the purest form of basketball because there was no crowds and all this other distractions, but they didn't get to have a parade. Like, I feel like when LeBron signed with the Lakers, I just feel like one championship. I feel like most Lakers fans thought we were going to get 2.
I was just happy he was there, but I didn't with the squad they always had. I didn't think they could have got more than what they got.
Once they got AD, I feel like it was they should be able to get 2 rings out of this because AD and LeBron was together at least 5 years out of that team. Maybe
no,
6.
they're probably 2.5.
No, they was together for like about 5 years.
Yeah, AD might have been on the team, but he wasn't on the floor.
Hey, bro, I can't help this bitch ass nigga kept getting injured now. But they was together for a good bit of time, and then there was moves like people saying that LeBron wanted Westbrook on the team, and they brought Westbrook and that shit didn't work out. Like there was things that I feel like did not go well during the LeBron regime, where it was like I don't know if I'll call it a success because I just feel like they should have had more playoff success. But two, I feel like what makes a lot of fans, to what you were saying, feel the way they do about this, because the most Lakers fans ain't even sad. No respect, LeBron. He just never felt like a Laker. He felt like a nigga who came there to do a job. He was a contractor. Like he never just like when I think of Pau Gasol, I'm gonna remember Pau Gasol as a Laker. When I think of LeBron, I'm gonna think of LeBron as a Cavs, bro. That's why I want him to go to Cleveland, bro. So yeah, that's how I'm gonna remember his tenure as a Laker, man. It probably wasn't as successful as I wanted to be, but we got a championship and he took us out some dark times, man. But he was just a player that was good for us for a little bit. Moving on from LeBron to the NFL. So there was some sad news that broke this week. So Calais Campbell's mother, unfortunately, passed away on the 30th. She was stabbed a couple times. We don't know who, but they did arrest and put in custody at the time Calais Campbell's brother. We don't have no further details on it. What's your thoughts on that?
It was just sad. It was sad. That's pretty much it. It was sad and then that his brother had he was, I don't know all his diagnosis, but he had some mental health issues. So, and then for him to kill his mom, it's just sad.
Yeah, man. I think there should be a message to especially people in the Black and minority community. When we have parents that are older or grandparents, we got to make sure it's more mentally stable people in the house to look after them. Because the mom was, I want to say, 71 years old, and like you said, the brother had a whole bunch of mental diagnoses on his rap sheet. I don't know the exact living situation, so maybe there was other people there and they just was in the house by themselves. But it would be the equivalent of having a 74-year-old woman watching a kid with Down syndrome. You just wouldn't do that. You would hope that if that's your kid, you would hope to have enough sense to be like, I probably shouldn't put this on my grandma or my mom because she's so elderly. And then you probably got to look at it the same way when you have someone mentally challenged, like, because he might not even been looking after the mom. The mom probably might have been looking after him. And even then, like, that's a sad situation, man. So, shout out to Calais Campbell, man. And, hopefully they can grieve and rest in peace to his mom. Sticking with the NFL, we move into the NFC East. The Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, and Giants. So we're going to talk about, that division. That's the highlight. So we're going to start off by what's the offseason moves in this division, whether it's the draft, free agency, or trades, that you caught your eye for each team, or lack of moves.
So we're going to go Cowboys getting the safety from Ohio State. And we're going to go Washington getting the linebacker from Ohio State, Styles. We're going to go Giants getting John Harbaugh as their new head coach. And I think he got some say in the front office too. And then we got the Giants, we got the Cowboys, we got the Washington Commanders, and then we got Philly. And we got Philly, they got rid of AJ Brown. Now the Heisman Trophy winner, he just got married. Shout out to him. He's about to be the number one receiver. They picked up Lemon in the draft. I think he's gonna do good. They got another new offensive coordinator. They talked a lot of trash about Hurts. I know he got that on his shoulder, and I know he's gonna have a good year. Jaylen Daniels coming back. He should have a good year. Dak was healthy last year. Pickens coming back. CD in there. They ain't got no issues. They gonna be dangerous. Man, that's probably that's gonna be a tough division. And New York's at the bottom of the division, but those 4 teams, they're going to be some tough outs, I think, this year. Malik's coming back. Neighbors coming back. Jackson Dart, he's healthy. He going to be throwing bombs off the yacht again. I just seen him throw another one off the yacht this weekend, you know what I'm saying, 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? He introducing the president and everything, you know what I'm saying? Man.
The Commanders pretty much had a quiet offseason. They did some things in the draft. I think the biggest thing in the offseason is the fact that we haven't heard much from Jaylen Daniels, the fact that he's getting healthy. Because even though he wasn't good last year, I feel like he was banged up. I feel confident a healthy Jaylen Daniels is probably the second best quarterback in that division. That's how I personally feel. And probably, and could probably be, you can make an argument, is a top 5 quarterback in the NFC in general, fully healthy though. So that's probably the biggest offseason is continue to make sure he's healthy, bro. That's the franchise right now. With the Giants, Isaiah Likely signing from the Ravens, the tight end. I liked him a lot. He got a lot of talent, and Jackson Dart has a athletic tight end to throw to, and then Tremont Edmonds, the linebacker. I think he was in Chicago. He's always been a pretty decent linebacker. They needed to shore that defense. With the Cowboys, man, franchising George Pickens and him being okay with it. Pickens was the best receiver on that team last year. And you can make the argument he had a top 5. He was top 5 receiver last year by the way he played. He was amazing last year. And to bring back George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb with Dak for another season, and now Dak has a second season with George Pickens, man, I think that's huge. That's big. But then the Eagles, man, I think the Eagles just did the most this offseason. They drafted Mekhi Lemon to replace A.J. Brown, who they just traded, you know, and sometimes it's addition by subtraction. Like the reports are A.J. Brown was such a cancer in that locker room and such a cancer to Jalen Hurts that, you know, that's why the offense was bad. So now what's going to happen? Is Jalen Hurts going to play worse without his number 1 receiver? Or could we potentially see a better version of Jalen Hurts because he doesn't have that cancer in the huddle every single time? So now Jalen Hurts, you got to step up. But man, I think a move that just did not get talked about a lot. Rick Woolen, who was the top 5 corner in the NFC last year for the Seahawks on that dark side defense, but he went to Philly and he's going to be in they already had a decent secondary and now they signed him. Man, like I think Philly did a really good job, you know, solidifying their defense, bro. And I can see why a lot of people they feel very confident about the Eagles, man. You know, at this moment, who would be your favorite for that division?
The Cowboys.
Yeah. You feel like they just had a better offseason with their draft, bringing all their players back?
Just Dak being healthy, doggone CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens.
Do you feel like that A.J. Brown trade is going to hurt the Eagles? Or is it nothing that the Eagles did wrong? It's just you just high on the Cowboys.
I'm just high on the Cowboys, like, and Jayden Daniels, like, I seen Brandon Ayuk talking about
get off the internet, nigga. Get off the internet.
I said he took 5 texts him talking about you on my team, boy. He talking about, boy, I'm a grown man, boy. You better watch. You better go do what your mama told you to do, and don't worry about me. I'm like, hold on now, I'm like,
man, come on, man, brother. Jayden Daniels is not a normal nigga. Everybody know he autistic, bro. Cut him some slack,
man. So if he can stay healthy, I think they'll be all right. But it's like, Cowboys was good last year, but they didn't make the they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, they missed the playoffs.
But I see Dak having an MVP season.
Oh, so 2 years ago, Dak.
Yeah, man, and it's because George he gonna try to prove it again.
Yeah.
And CD, he healthy.
He want to get paid.
Because last year CD was hurt.
To be in the top 5 receiver.
He was hurt a lot last year.
He was.
And it's like, but all 3 of those guys healthy. I don't see nobody stopping him.
We're gonna run the ball.
Williams.
Oh, okay.
What he had 14 touchdowns last year or something like that. I don't know.
He was good last year. Hey, I had him on fantasy. He was good last year.
I don't know how many touchdowns he had. He had a lot of them.
Yeah,
at least 10.
Yeah, he was the man last year. He was the man.
So if he do what he did last year, it's like, and then who you gonna put in the? Come on, put somebody in the box. Gonna be wide open because they got two of them studs on the outside.
Man, I'm so happy. Hearing you talk about George Pickens makes me happy. And I know it makes CJ2K happy because we saw this in Pittsburgh. And I
see him at Georgia.
And I feel like people are just starting to understand how good he is. Because I'm hearing other people online talk about how good George Pickens is. And I saw this, like you said, you saw it at Georgia, I saw it at Pittsburgh. You know, people and Shannon saw it at Georgia too. Like, yeah, man. But still give me them Eagles, man. Because like I said, they got Greenwood, the one of the defensive linemen, I think it was at Tennessee. They signed him, but he was a Pro Bowler last year off the defensive line. They already had a decent defensive line. Rick Rulin, they got him. Mekhi Lemon. I feel like, man, he's going to have a monster year at receiver, man. You know, because I really like him. I think he's really good. I feel like Saquon's going to bounce back and be better, man. I feel like we're going to see a better version of Jalen Hurts, man. Like, I just feel like someone like a Jalen Carter is going to be unlocked this year. You know, I'm really high on the Eagles. But when I look at the Cowboys, the defense worries me, but I just don't know how you're going to stop them two men that you're talking about. I don't know how every week we're going to match up and we got them two studs on the outside. Because those are not small guys. Those are big athletic freaks. So that's going to be hard for a lot of teams to deal with, man. So moving on to what we've been doing, you know, with every division, we're going to do the over-unders for the wins and the players. So we're going to start with the wins. So you got the Cowboys winning the division. They had 9.5 wins.
Over.
Giants, 7.5.
Under.
Eagles, 10.5.
10.5. I see them at 10, so under.
Commanders, 7.5.
They can get 8. Over.
Yeah, I think the Commanders is the easiest over because I feel like they're going to easily get it. The Giants scare me, man, because I feel like they could just be good enough to get 8, but I feel like they could be bad. I'm going to go under just because I feel like the Cowboys and the Eagles are going to win so many games. And I think both of them are going to hit their overs. I think the Eagles are going to get probably 12 wins, and the Cowboys probably going to get maybe like 11 or something like that. So moving on to the players, Dak, 3,974.5 yards.
Almost 4. I think he can get 4,000.
27.5 TDs.
Yeah, he'll have to. Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, 3,224.5 passing yards.
Under. He ain't getting that.
God damn, that man better go throw for 3,000 yards.
Yeah, he'll probably get 31.
Oh, damn.
He ain't gonna get
22.5 passing yards.
Say that again?
22.5 pass, so he needs 23 touchdowns.
Oh, touchdown. Okay. Yeah, I guess he can get that. Yeah, he can get that.
Hey, you ain't confident my boy can get 23 passing touchdowns?
If they go, you know what I'm saying? I think he can get that. Yeah, he can get that.
Jaden Daniels, 3,399.5 yards passing.
Over.
21.5 passing touchdowns.
Over.
Jackson Dart, 3,199.5 yards. So 32 passing yards.
Under.
19.5 touchdowns.
Over.
Okay, then. Moving on to the players, man. We're going to start with Devontae, the new number 1. Well, now let's start with Mekhi Lemon. 649.5 receiving yards. So 650.
650. I think he can get that.
4.5 touchdowns.
He can get that.
Devontae Smith. 1,050.5 yards.
Yeah, over.
8.5 touchdowns.
Under.
CeeDee Lamb, 1,174.5 yards.
Over.
7.5 touchdowns.
Over.
Pickens, 974.5 yards.
Over.
7 touchdowns.
Over.
And then we're gonna go with who I probably think is still the best player in this division at the end of the day. Saquon Barkley. 1,099.5 yards.
1,100. Over.
7.5 rushing touchdowns.
Over.
Okay then. So look like you feel good about a lot of players. I ain't gonna lie. When it comes to the NFC, this might be the best fantasy division.
Yeah.
Like if you play fantasy football, this might be the division right here where you might want to eat a lot of your plays. You might want to pick up a lot of plays from the NFC East because there's a lot of players that's going to get them points. Final thoughts.
Yeah, my final thoughts. I know we were talking about NBA free agency, but my final thoughts: Tim Hardaway Jr., Tim Hardaway Sr. Like, I know he has worn other jersey numbers, but he just signed with the Heat. You know what I'm saying? He's always, you know what I'm saying, wore. Well, he ain't always wore number 10, but he tried to wear his dad's number. Like when he was a rookie with New York, he wore the number 5 because that was his dad's rookie number. You know what I'm saying? So he's always doing stuff looking up to his dad. You know what I'm saying? So and when he can wear the number 10, he wears it. And that his daddy don't want him to wear it. And like, I think you should let him wear it. You know what I'm saying? You gave him your last name. You know what I'm saying? Why you can't wear your jersey number? Like, if you don't want to wear your jersey number, tell him to change the last name too.
Facts.
So that's my final thoughts.
Man, this was such a crazy week, man. CJ2K, Chris Johnson. We found out that he had ALS, and we got to watch Good Morning America with Michael Strahan and see how debilitated that disease has done to him already in just a year, where he can't move and he got to talk using his eyes on a keyboard with an automatic robot voice. And you look at his body and you look at the pictures from a year ago, and he was still spry, athletic, built and everything. This is a running back that literally got drafted the same year as Matt Ryan, had a hell of a rookie season, and lost Rookie of the Year to Matt Ryan. He just turned, I want to say, 39 or 40. So he's not even, really old yet. And I'll just remember him, man, like he had 6 straight 1,000-yard seasons. His second season, he had 2,000 yards rushing. And just in recent memory, Rose, if I'm just being honest, the only 2,000-yard rushing season that might be up there with his, maybe Adrian Peterson, because he came back from the, Achilles injury, I think. But the way Chris Johnson rushed for 2,000 yards was just electric. He ran a 4.2, I want to say, in the draft. Was always one of the fastest players in the league. When you watch his highlights, man, it's just home run after home run after home run. And that's what made that 2,000-yard season so spectacular, to be honest. It was just 80-yard touchdown, 70-yard touchdown, 60-yard touchdown. He had, I think 2 90-yard touchdowns that same season, man, when I was watching his highlights. So, man, I forgot about just the fact that he just had so many breakaway touchdowns. And then he was doing Madden-type stuff where when you see players go one way and they cut cross back to the field, he was doing that all the time that year he rushed for 2,000 yards, where they would toss the ball to the left, he would take 2 juke steps and then run all the way around back to the right side of the field and then go like 60, 50 yards for a touchdown, man. It was definitely crazy, man. And he broke the scrimmage yards record, man, that year, which was held by Marshall Faulk, man. So, shout out to all the people who doing the, ice bucket challenge and brought that back. It's important that people donate to that. So don't just do the challenges. If you're going to participate in the challenges, donate to that foundation, man, because that is a disease that just is so sporadic, comes out of nowhere, and it debilitates people. And I think everyone understands how bad the disease is, Rose. But seeing somebody who was so athletic, so energetic, and seeing him on the TV and seeing what he's going through, I think just was the reality punch a lot of people needed, man. Shout out to the mama.
Gotta.
Mr. DJ Rose, Verkeezy, and C's, welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. For sure MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap your seatbelt, go and settle land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell our land. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love us as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.